Good day, I'm Lisa Rowe and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, May 15, 2024. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the government is committed to reaching a consensus on matters concerning the constitutional reform process. The Prime Minister's assurance came on the heels of the opposition's stance not to sign a report that was done by the Constitutional Reform Committee, CRC, which includes members of the opposition. Speaking earlier today at the post-cabinet press briefing, the Prime Minister said the CRC had made good on its commitment to consult with the relevant stakeholders before submitting its report to Cabinet on Monday.
I would like to say to the Jamaican people that the efforts that the government has made is not in vain, that we will continue to pursue consensus, because the truth is that you cannot disturb the constitutional and governance architecture of the country without consensus. That is the reality. And consensus takes time. And it takes effort.
The report is now being reviewed by Cabinet, and when completed, it will be tabled in Parliament along with the government's conclusion. The government says it will not engage in the politicization of the reform process or contribute to undermining its integrity. The country recorded a 24% reduction in murders between November 2023 and April this year when compared to the preceding six-month period. Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang says this is attributed to the work of the JCF staff and resources that have been provided to the police. Minister Chang was making his contribution to the 2024-2025 sectoral debate in Parliament on Tuesday.
We accept and agree that the homicide rate is still too high.
Yes.
Unacceptable.
Yes.
Unacceptable. It is being carried out largely by drive-by shooting, mostly shooting on the road. Nonetheless, despite of what is happening, we are trending this year 15% decline in the homicide rate up to today.
In addition, Dr. Chang says gang wars, which are predominantly based on conflicts over turf, have also reduced significantly across the island.
At the beginning, there was 244 active gangs. So far this year, we have only identified 106 active gangs. We have seen 27 convictions in some 5 gang trials, including our famous Klansman trial.
The National Security Minister further indicates that there are 64 gang-related cases that are under active investigation and 5 cases that are before the courts. The Jamaica Constabulary Force is now at its full 14,000-member staff level, a first in the history of the force. Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang says the government has been ramping up its recruitment drive to fill vacancies created by persons who have resigned or retired over the years.
We'll take a look at another stage if we need to go beyond that, but at this stage we'll be looking to consolidate our force to ensure we have enough sub-officers and officers throughout the force to provide quality supervision and ensure the professional quality of the force remains on track.
He says the JCF now boasts a transparent, merit-based promotional system, which includes examinations, developmental courses, and accelerated promotions.
We'll look at expanding the officer corps from 2.5% to 3.5% during the course of this year, which will ensure that we have a hierarchical effect of increased number of sub-officers required to supervise the thousands of young officers we have recruited.
The National Security Minister says retention measures include continued training of young and senior officers. He also indicates that there is a collaboration with Delaware State University for graduate-level training. The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining has endorsed the introduction of a goat meat burger to the market. Portfolio Minister Floyd Green says this will support an increase in the production of goat and opens up the possibilities for other value-added products. He was speaking at the launch of the Jam Goat Burger seasoned patties at the company's Bushy Park facility last week.
Now that we have developed a goat burger, you can see the tremendous possibilities. So we're going to continue to drive and help our goat farmers to increase their production. And we're doing some more things. In fact, at our Boulders Research Center, we've done a new goat house so that we're looking at husbandry practices to ensure that best practices are being done in the ministry and then we can pass that on to our farmers. We've brought in a feed pelletizer, spent about 11 million Jamaican dollars so that we can help our farmers deal with the nutritional regime for their goats, especially in times of drought.
Managing Director of HMH Farms thanks the ministry and other stakeholders for their support.
I'm humbled at the support that and the turnout that's here. And that is what birthed the Jam Goat Burger.
And finally, Agriculture Minister Floyd Green says enforcement measures will be strengthened to administer fines for the illegal movement of agricultural produce. Fines were significantly increased last year to $3 million and 3 years in prison, with amendments to the Agricultural Produce Act. Minister Green says this is intended to deter against unlawful practices such as the theft of livestock and produce.
Additionally, we've made some amendments to the Anti-Gang Act. So we can now charge people for prey larceny offenses under the Anti-Gang Act, because it's not like one time where a man a thief for one goat. Prey larceny, unfortunately, is now organized crime, and we have to treat it as such.
The maximum fines for trespassing have also moved to $1 million, and Minister Green says the ministry will deploy more boots on the ground through the Agricultural Wardens Program.
We're going to target the areas that we already know we have high incidence of prey larceny, and we're going to literally put an additional supplemental police team on the ground to deal with agricultural crime. And you will hear more about that this year. That will happen this year.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lisa Rowe. Thanks for watching.